Good, good. Hey, Justin, I apologize for not getting back to you. I want to let you know that I was actually just about to type out a message before I started the class here. I've been traveling quite a bit here lately. I wanted to let you know that for some reason, for people that are just now activating the license of Social Lead Freak that I had, it's not working correctly. Some people are experiencing some issues. So I am in the process of um, working out a deal with another publisher because Ali kind of backed out on the deal that I had with him. So I'm working on another piece of software that everybody will be able to use, and it'll be very low cost. If not, if I can't get it for, free for whatever I'm going to pay for it. So just so you know, that's the case right now. Yeah, but I really do apologize for not getting back to you. Things have just been really, really crazy for me with travel and everything like that. So, um, you know, but it's actually been really good. Some good things have happened that I'm going to be able to share with you guys. I'm going to give this just a couple of minutes here just to make sure everybody's in here. So give me 5 minutes. I got to let my dog out because he's looking like he's going to pee on the floor, and I will be right back. So if anybody asks, I'm here, but I'll be right back. All right. Hey there, Joy. How's it going today? Yes. Yes, it is great to be back. It's about 5 minutes past, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I know we took a week off, so I kind of expected it to be a little bit light this week. What I can tell you guys is I'm going to start promoting this very heavily to both my list and also to incoming prospects for me as well. So we're going to definitely have a lot more attendees on here in the future. I need to go ahead and oh, look at that. The recording's been going this whole time. That's all right. I can edit that out later. Well, welcome to what I believe is session number 15, actually. And, guys, I actually had an absolutely amazing weekend this last week that I took off. I actually went down and spent a week with one of my clients and a guy that's also one of my mentors, Michelangelo Lopez. And I got to tell you guys, I took a lot out of my time there. Just seeing how somebody who's at that level works and operates. And yes, I'm at a certain level and I do pretty well and things like that. But to see somebody who's at an entirely another level operate on a regular basis is just absolutely amazing to be around. It's really neat because the thing that I got the most out of it though is he still lives a sort of I guess you could call it sort of an average life as far as that goes. Still gets spends time with his kids. Still has time to we went out to lunch and dinner. We got introduced to friends. We had conversations that weren't necessarily about marketing or any of that stuff as well. And I think that's really awesome. There's somebody that makes somewhere north of $40,000 a month or more. Um, can operate in a way like that, but he still gets a lot of, he uses every bit of spare time to get work done, which I think is really, really neat. And it's telling, and you can see that somebody like that who operates at such a high level that, you know, they still have time for a normal life. And I think that's one thing that I want to share with you guys. It's really, really important. One of the things that I got most out of this last weekend. The other thing is I went and spent 2 days with or at a event with a guy named Marshall Silver, who some of you may have heard of. Runs a thing called Get Rich Radio, which is a neat little program in itself. But he is actually a master of influence and really great hypnotist, that sort of thing. But he's very, very good with influence and being able to talk to people. And I just think that it's neat to get around somebody like that. And one of the things that got me the most is he continually talked about times that he had spent with Richard Branson and with other people who are considered big time leaders in this industry, guys like Frank Kern, Tony Robbins, several others as well. And it's really neat to see that even somebody who's on a level like him, somebody who makes 8 figures a year, and that's no joke, literally makes 10 to $20 million a year himself personally, not to mention what his overall company revenue is. And has made as much as $150 million in a year. Yes, that's 9 figures. Um, you know, that even he says that you still need to get around people who are at the next level from you. So he'll spend time around people who every year earn hundreds of millions of dollars and every year are billionaires and multi-billionaires. And I think that's really telling that getting around the right people and having the right mentorship is very big. And I gotta applaud you guys for being here. And I'm not saying I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread, but maybe I'm at just another level from where you guys are at right now. And I applaud you guys for being here and taking the time out to get around somebody who may have a little bit of knowledge maybe you just don't have yet or that you haven't learned. And that's my goal. I want to impart massive value into you guys and be able to get you guys to the level that I'm at right now. And And it's actually a lot simpler than what most people think. And, and going through with some of the coaching clients that I have, because, I do run a side business of coaching clients of people that don't necessarily want to join Empower Network or whatever the case is, or they're already in another deal and I don't want to distract them from that deal that they're in. So I run private coaching on the side. And one of the biggest things that I've noticed is that ability to take action. And the big thing there is, guys, if you even have a small idea of what to do, okay, if you have one thing, one trick, one thing in your bag of marketing tools, you should be using that. Whether you're doing video, whether you're blogging, whether you're, you know, I like that, Jay. Whether whether you're doing paid marketing, you're doing Facebook, you're doing solo ads, you're writing emails, ad copy, that sort of thing. Whatever it is that you found that you're really, really good at, that's where you should go with this, and you should instantly take action with that. And if you've got multiple things in your bag of tools or your bag of tricks, whatever you want to call it, and you're not taking the action that you should, it baffles me. I've been there myself. Don't get me wrong. I've had, tons of knowledge and haven't done shit with it in the past. But that's not the case anymore. I realize, and I said this to somebody, actually, I've said this to multiple people because it's something that I heard Dave Wood say specifically to Michelangelo. I got to listen in on speakerphone. Um, you know, his big thing, and I've heard Dave Wood say this a few times before, if you are weak with yourself and then you're weak with your people, they're going to be weak with themselves and they're going to be weak with their people, and you're going to have a weak, broke team. So that's my mantra going forward. I'm not going to be weak with you guys. I'm not going to go easy. I'm not going to, pat you on the butt and say good job when you haven't done anything. I'm going to push you to take action. And that is very, very important to me. Because I'm at a stage now where, I know that I have to take action to be able to get to the goals that I want to be. I understand that, my current goal, and I have no problem saying this out loud, my current goal is $25,000 in personal income, not revenue, because I do things on the side for people that cost me as well. That's in personal income, be it from Empower Network, be it from my coaching, whatever it is, and I have a list of things that are going to get me there. Be it from a certain number of sales with Empower Network, be it from, a certain number of sales in coaching, be it some web development, whatever it is, those things that I know that I can do and that are worth my time, that's what's going to get me there. And that's the thing, I have a very specific reason for choosing that number. Okay, and it's actually by May 22nd is the exact date. Now, May 22nd also just happens to be my 31st birthday. Okay, so you guys can mark that on the calendar if you want to get me gifts. May 22nd is my birthday. So, so the thing is, I know that I want to get there and I know exactly what it's going to take. I've broken it down into a daily, weekly, and monthly goal at this point. And that's a very attainable goal. And I've told you guys before that my income goal for this year is $500,000. And I really do believe I can get there. I believe I can get to my first million by my birthday in May of 2015. That's my goal, first million. And actually, I'm not even using the word goal anymore because I think that's also a misnomer. That is my intention. I have intended that I will get there, and I have no problem telling people that out front, just so you know that that's where I'm headed. And if you want to go there, if you want to get there with me as well, you're going to need to take action. And from here on out, I'm going to be giving you guys assignments. I'm going to be following up with things. I'm going to be doing, regular coaching sessions with people that are in this class. You guys will get messages from me. Hey, let's set up a time to talk. Because I want to make sure that I'm not just giving you information and nothing's being done with it. Does that make sense, guys and gals? And the other thing is that's also to hold myself accountable as well. That's the other thing. I can't be afraid to tell somebody that I've got a goal or tell somebody that, hey, they need to do something, especially because if I don't tell them to do something, you know, or if I tell them to do something and I don't follow up on it, or I am not willing to do that same thing that I just told them, what is the information that that I'm giving worth? Does it really have value if I'm not backing it up with a, hey, come on, let's go? And that's the thing, guys. And you're right, Joy. It's IPAs, income producing activities. So, from here, I'm going to start giving you guys, after tonight, I'm going to start giving you guys some of these. And I want to let you guys know I have arranged for a very, very special presentation next week from one of my personal mentors on Facebook, a guy that I've paid literally thousands of dollars for mentorship is going to come on the call next Sunday, just so you guys know. So if you know anybody else, you have people that want to be on, anybody else that could use some real knowledge from somebody who's making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, just solely on Facebook. That's all this guy does. I'm not going to mention his name just yet. But if you guys know people, I will give you the link so that you guys can promote this to your people. Okay? Because I really do believe that going forward, yeah, Jay, most definitely. I will be recording this for the group. And, and the thing is, this is somebody who has also pushed me to say, hey, you know what? You're doing a little bit of what I said to do. Yes, Merlin, you can promote it to your list. And I'll get you guys a link to be able to do that as well. Very, very big thing. And, it's going to be universal. It's going to be good training that you can use. This is a guy that does affiliate marketing. He has his own products. And, he's also into Teespring and a few other things as well, but does very, very well for himself. I'm very lucky that, I actually just talked to him just before this call went on, and he said he for sure would be able to make it. So, um, I'm definitely looking forward to that. One second here, real quick. This back up so people can keep listening. I'm like, why does that still say 1724? But that's the thing, guys. I came from that, where it was, work, not have any opportunity to do anything else. I was working 60 or 70 hours a week at a job, which is job, just over broke. If any of you are still working a job, I apologize, but eventually you're going to want to get away from that thing unless you absolutely love it. Um, and the thing is, so I took the time, to go through that whole period, and I decided I went to my first event in Chicago, and I still have this video. I'll have to show you guys this. Um, yeah, I'll have to show you guys this, but I recorded a video at that event, and I said in 90 days I was going to quit my job. I set my intention right there. First time I'd ever been to a network marketing event in my life. Still was only in the business a month, didn't have a clue of where it was going to go or what I was going to do with it or anything else like that. I had no clue, guys, honestly. But I set that intention and I said, I'm going to do this. And what did I do? I went home and every single day I told the people at work, I've just got, 72 days. I got 68 days. I've got 50 days. I got 44 days. I hired and trained my own replacement. I ended up staying an extra, month at that job. They already had my letter of resignation. I had already told them that this is going to be my last day, and I stayed a little bit longer just so I could, make sure that somebody was trained. Because, you don't want to leave that other place. I didn't feel like just burning the bridges and walking out, right? But I had set an intention that I was going to be done by this day. I got to go to my second network marketing event. I took 2 weeks off there, to be able to go to that and spend time away. And here's the thing. Then I got done and I was full time at home. Okay. And this is where things really get interesting. So I took I had 2 weeks more of paid vacation they had to pay me out on. They had to pay me my last paycheck, which was like $700. And then I cashed out what 401k I had, which was a couple $1,000. And and then I was stuck. And just so you guys know, to kind of preface this, before that, you know, I took out a loan so I could go all in and so I could spend money on some advertising, which I'll get into that a little bit later. Um, you know, not only did I, add to my debt, but I also quit my job, had no backup plan, still really wasn't having a whole lot of success, but I had decided that this is what I was going to do. No matter what, this is what I was going to do, and I took action to reach that goal. And I told people what I was going to do, continue to stay on top of it, all of these things. And then when I was full time at home, I didn't know what to do with myself. And I found myself taking, 3-hour naps in the middle of the afternoon. And, I was taking these odd jobs on Elance just to fill my time rather than spend the time marketing. And this went on for a couple of months until I got to a point where I didn't have any savings and I didn't have, all of my 401k was gone. They were about to shut off the gas, electric, and cable, so I couldn't even run my business, right? All of this happened, and not to mention that, $3,000 that I put out in advertising resulted in nothing, still hasn't resulted in anything, all right? But there came a point where I go, holy shit, what's going to happen here? We're going to lose our house. I already, let the, car company take my car back, just because, hey, it was a payment I didn't really need. We had one vehicle that was paid off, right? And so November, let me see when I started my Facebook or my so November 19th was when everything finally came to a head. November 19th of last year, and I go, shit, what am I going to do? I have no clue. I don't know how I'm going to pay the bills. I don't know how I'm going to be able to continue to market. I don't know how I'm going to pay my subscriptions, things like that. I had no clue because I knew what to do. I had all of the education in the world right there in front of me, and I didn't do a damn thing with it. And I want you guys to understand that, okay? This is a cautionary tale. Don't ever put yourself in that situation. Some people operate better with their backs against the wall, but I can tell you it is not a good feeling, and it comes across in your marketing. Okay? People can tell when you get to that certain point. Yes, the recording is back on. you know, People can see that and they can feel it and they know that you're desperate. They know, where you're at. You know, even if you're not telling them and you're trying your best to hide it, people know, okay? Unless you're really, really, really good at totally hiding it, people know. People have a sense about these things and go, I don't know. You give off a vibe. And the thing is, guys, if you have all those resources and you have all that education and you've actually taken the time to go through it, why are you not doing anything with it? And for me, I got into a little bit of a coaching program, and the first thing the guy asked me is, what are you afraid of? I don't, I'm not afraid of anything. I want to earn this money. I want to grow. I want to be a better person. I want to help people. But and the reality was I was afraid of what I was capable of. I was afraid that I was capable of really, helping people. I was afraid that, I was going to get all this money and then not know what to do with it, not know how to handle it, not know how to put things together. Even though I had all this knowledge and I knew that I could do it, I knew that I could handle the money and everything, there was always this thing in the back of my head that said, Dustin, yeah, I don't know. And I actually traced it back, and apologize if I get a little bit emotional about this. But, I actually, we went through this process and I traced it back. And, as a kid, I grew up and they told me I had ADHD, which they tell way too many kids this day and age that they have ADHD. It's just that you're able to multitask better than anybody else as long as somebody teaches you focus. But I can remember as a kid, I went to a hospital in Indiana, where I'm from, and I can remember the doctor telling my mother that I wasn't going to be anything, that this was a handicap. And it took me realizing that and tracing that back to that moment and realizing, wait a second, who is that person to tell me what I am going to be or what I can be? And this is somebody, that told me something, damn near, like 25 years ago. I think I was 5 or 6 at the time, but I had traced it back and I had conversations with my parents and things like that. And, and that's where it all came up. And I had to realize that, you know what? That person has no fucking power over me. None. Okay. You have the power over yourself and your future. And whatever it is that's been holding you back, whatever it is that, you feel like, oh, I just, I know I can do this. I know this stuff. I know I can figure it out. I know that, but you feel like there's something there. You just feel like, you're trying to run forward and you got those rubber bands attached to your arms and you're trying to run away from a wall and it keeps snapping you back. And that's a thing, guys. If you take a look back and and I want you all to do this, what are you afraid of? Because every person that is on this call, every person that's here right now, I know for a fact that you have everything you need to be a success. Everything. And whatever it is that's holding you back, whatever it is, maybe you need a little bit of a push with, that's what I'm going to be here for. That's where I want to put my massive value into your life. And yes, this, isn't directly associated with marketing tonight, but you guys needed to hear this because it's something I had to get past myself. So now, we're November 19th, and I started, because I had started to do some personal development, things like that. And I said, you know what, I want to start doing this call. And that's when everything changed because I started speaking about the things that, were attacking me in my personal life, things that, maybe held me back that I knew that I needed to do. And that's the thing. I realized that, if I could go out and I could tell other people and I knew that I had this knowledge of how to get past all of this stuff that was holding me back, and I had all that knowledge and I've been through the personal development programs, I've been through private coaching, and I've done all this stuff, if I could tell other people about it, and repeat it all the time, it's going to sink in. It's going to get into my head that, hey, this is the way you got to do things. And the crazy thing is, by the end of December, I was making enough to be able to, replace that full-time income, pay all of my bills up, right? I'm not saying that everything was perfect and rosy, but, I decided that nothing else from my past or nobody else was going to hold me back for any reason. Nothing. Don't ever tell me I can't do it because I will show you. And that's the thing, maybe, I know that there are some people, they're on this call that will be listening to this call that, you've got something holding back. Maybe somebody told you that, you haven't gotten, you don't have the education, you don't have the necessary computer skills, you can't figure this out, you're too busy, you've got all of these other things going on. I call bullshit on every single one of them. You know, so don't come to me and tell me that, yeah, I'll show you how to do those things. If you need the how-tos, the tutorials, things like that, I will show you how to do those things. But don't tell me you can't. Can't means I won't. And I don't know that word. So going forward, We need to jump into this. We need to take action. I'm going to be going over, I'm going to cover a lot of the stuff that I covered before, but in much greater detail, so you guys have it. I'm going to start regularly bringing on special guests. Like next week, there will be a special guest, and the following week, I know that I already have one that I'm working on, and I'm going to have these people on here to help you. And not only that, but they also promote value into my life as well. It's people that I've worked with, people that are at a level above where I'm at even right now. Because I want you guys to see how these people operate, how they take action, how they jump in and they just do things. They don't let anybody else hold them back or tell them that they can't do it. That, just because it hasn't been done, everybody believed that the world was flat for thousands of years. Until somebody decided, hey, you know what? Let's keep sailing and see what happens. Ain't nobody going to tell me that I'm going to fall off the edge of this thing. That's the thing. People believe that for years and years and years until somebody did it. If you want to go someplace, get around somebody who's already been there or done it. And actually listen and then take action with it. Not, I already know that. I've already done that. One of the things that's been stuck in my head is I already know that is some of the worst words you can ever let go through your mind or come out of your mouth. I hear people say it all the time, people, and especially, because I do believe that everybody that's here tonight is an Empower Network. I hear people all the time, and this is something that I heard from a person that's kind of close to me. Oh, all these stories, I've already heard that. Oh, this, I've already heard that. Oh, somebody already taught me how to do that. Well, why aren't you doing anything with it? Why aren't you using those stories in your business, trying to help other people with it? That's the thing. Can't, try, won't. I already know that. Get rid of those words. Jim Rohn said it best, stand guard at the door of your mind. Something I've instituted, whenever I catch myself typing it out or saying it to somebody else, I put a bucket I put $1 in a bucket that's next to my desk. Eventually that's going to be a pretty sweet pot, right? That's going to be free advertising for somebody, actually. That's my plan with it. But that's the thing, guys. If you know even just a small little bit, you probably know a little bit more than the next person. And then you can bring those people in and say, hey, this is how I did this. And while you're doing that, it's, hey, how can I learn to do the next thing? And I'm going to be here every single week until I can't put this headset back on. All right? I will be here. And I've even worked out a way now that even when I travel, I can be on here. All right? So no more missed Sunday night calls every single week. And this is open. If you guys want, I will give you a link. You can invite your team here. Okay? I don't have a problem helping, and showing you guys all of that stuff, helping out with your teams. Even though it may not directly make me money, I will still show these things to you guys. All right? So every single week we're going to be here. And every single week I expect to see you guys here. That is the first piece of accountability that I'm going to have. And I tell you what, if I get on and the 9 of us that are here aren't here, I will message you. I will call you. I will find out why you're not here. Outside of a death in the family or a death of yourself, you should be able to be here. It's, generally I keep this to about 45 minutes to an hour. And you should feel the same way about your team as you bring people in. And if you've got calls, things, training that you're doing for your team, the expectation should be that they should be here or you will not work with them. I don't want anybody else to go through what I went through here recently. Be able to make that decision and set an intention and actually live it out that you're full-time at home working for yourself, and then you almost lose it. Everybody told me that I needed to go back to my job, that I need to go find something else to do, that I need to pick something up on the side. And right before the 19th of November, I decided, you know what? I'm going to do this regardless. I'm going to take every bit of action that I can. Every day when I get up, I have a plan of what I want to get done. And this is something else you guys can put into practice. A good way to hold yourself accountable. I actually wake up in the morning, and before my feet hit the bed, I tell myself thank you. Thank you for what you've accomplished today. Because let me tell you what, if you tell yourself thank you for what you've already accomplished for the day, and then you don't go out and finish that plan, let me tell you what, you feel like shit at the end of the day. I can tell you that from experience. It's like, oh, no, I let myself down, But you got to tell yourself thank you, so that you have a reason to get it done. You're holding yourself accountable if you don't have somebody else to. And if there's plenty of people here that you can send a message to, ladies, guys, all of you together, whatever, all of you people that are on here, I trust all of you, right? It's not a problem to reach out and say, hey, how can we work together and be accountable for each other? If you guys want a little bit more of that, me and some friends have started our own little team group as well. I have no problem inviting all of you into that group, just so you can get some accountability. But you have to be accountable to yourself also. And it really is that important. So, again, from here on out, this is all about taking action. This is Easy Tech Guys taking action mastery. Because that's what we do here. We make it happen. Does anybody have a problem with that? Okay. Good. So, going forward, I'll have special guests. I'll be here with, real presentations. That is, my promise. I will be here every single week without fail, no matter whether I'm traveling or not. I will be here. Okay? Feel free to invite your teams. I will get you all a link that you can use for next week. To invite people. I do know, I can tell you in advance, he's going to be teaching some really, really good stuff on Facebook. He will be, as part of me getting him here, he will be promoting a course that he has, and you guys will have the option, and I'm going to say option, to look at that if you choose. It is something that I've gone through myself. I have to tell you that in advance, just so you guys know. But he will be teaching things that are of serious value while he's here. Okay? So with that, guys, we're about 10 minutes to 9, and I really, really, really appreciate all of you guys being here. And again, I will post a link for everybody. If their actual registration link, I'll post it in that message that I sent out to the group earlier. And that way, if you want to, post it anywhere on Facebook, if you want to, whatever, put it on Facebook, send it to your email list, or whatever, feel free to do that. Okay? That's what I'm here for. We can put up to 200 people in this room. So let's try and max it out. And then I will find something bigger to use. All right, guys. Well, with that, I appreciate your time as always. I will, again, be doing my normal Monday mindset call tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. As always, if you want a link to that, just send me a message, and I will make sure that you have it. All right, most definitely. All right, well, everybody have a great night, and I look forward to talking to you all either tomorrow or next Sunday or maybe even sooner. All right, take care, everybody.